One American soldier was bleeding to death in the jungle. Enemy fighters were closing in, and his squad faced an impossible choice. If they stayed, they could all die together. If they left, their wounded friend would certainly be captured or killed. Yet only hours earlier, the patrol had entered the jungle, believing it would be another routine mission. 8 American soldiers moved carefully through dense vegetation, scanning the terrain while remaining alert for any signs of danger. The deeper they traveled into enemy territory, the quieter the jungle became, making every soldier increasingly uncomfortable and nervous. Their squad leader studied the map carefully before signaling the patrol forward through thick trees and narrow jungle trails. One soldier suddenly noticed movement ahead and froze. Before anyone else saw it, the figure disappeared completely. Every member of the patrol tightened their grip on their rifles and searched the jungle for hidden threats. An uneasy feeling spread through the squad as they continued moving deeper into unfamiliar and increasingly dangerous territory. Without warning, automatic gunfire erupted from hidden enemy positions, shattering the silence and throwing the patrol into chaos. Bullets ripped through leaves and branches, while American soldiers dove behind trees, desperately searching for protection. The soldier leading the patrol was struck by enemy fire and collapsed instantly, screaming in pain. His squad immediately returned fire, while enemy fighters continued shooting from concealed positions throughout the jungle. The wounded soldier tried to stand, but collapsed again, unable to place any weight on his injured leg. The patrol leader ordered suppressive fire while the medic crawled forward to reach the wounded man. Enemy fighters continued advancing through the jungle, hoping to overwhelm the isolated American patrol before reinforcements arrived. The medic quickly examined the wound and realized the soldier could no longer walk on his own. The situation was becoming desperate as enemy fire intensified and ammunition supplies slowly began running lower. Several soldiers suggested retreating immediately before the patrol became completely surrounded by enemy forces. Leaving the wounded soldier behind would improve their chances, but nobody wanted to say those words aloud. The squad leader looked directly at the wounded man and made a decision that changed everything. He refused to abandon any member of his patrol, regardless of the danger surrounding them. 2 soldiers lifted their wounded friend while others formed a defensive line around them. Progress was painfully slow as the patrol struggled through mud, vegetation, and constant enemy pressure. Enemy fighters launched another attack, forcing the Americans to stop and defend their position once again. A fierce firefight erupted across the jungle as both sides exchanged heavy gunfire from close range. Several American soldiers narrowly avoided enemy rounds while continuing to protect the wounded man. Ammunition was running dangerously low, and the enemy seemed determined to finish them before nightfall. Realizing the situation was critical, the patrol leader radioed desperately for immediate evacuation support. Static filled the radio before a distant voice finally answered and promised help was coming. Relief spread through the squad, but reaching the evacuation zone would still be extremely dangerous. Enemy forces continued pursuing them through the jungle, while the wounded soldier grew weaker by the minute. Every exhausted step brought them closer to safety, but also closer to another enemy attack. Suddenly, the sound of helicopter blades echoed faintly above the battlefield, giving the patrol new hope. American soldiers looked toward the sky and saw the rescue helicopter approaching through the smoke. Enemy fighters immediately opened fire again, determined to stop the evacuation before it could succeed. The patrol formed a defensive perimeter and unleashed everything they had left at the advancing enemy. Rescue crew members rushed from the helicopter and helped load the wounded soldier aboard. Bullets struck nearby trees as the helicopter lifted off and escaped the deadly jungle battlefield. Every patrol member survived that day because they chose loyalty over fear and refused to leave a brother behind.